Diana.
Oh, I know, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Hi, Marina, I'm Tony. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All I just ask you to do is, if you can refrain from actually mentioning who you're working with or
Okay.
any trainer's name that you're with, yeah?
Okay.
It just doesn't look good.
Okay.
Yeah? So, we had a quick chat on the phone, so if you just talk me through what you've done so far. Without mentioning the name of the company.
Not much, really.
So you're a PDI and you're on a pink.
I'm a PTI, I'm on a pink. So,
And you've had a couple of attempts.
I've had one attempt.
One attempt.
One attempt.
And that was how long ago?
In August. Trying to think of the date. I am
It doesn't matter when the date was.
Let me just open this window a bit.
Yeah, okay. So was that at Mill Hill as well?
Yeah, my one attempt was at Mill
Yeah?
Hill. Yeah. And I got a 2 and a 3
Yeah.
on that.
What were the subjects?
Moving off and stopping.
Yeah.
And then the second part was a full licence holder. Was it adequate clearance?
I'll tell you what comes at moving up and stopping. Let me just get my book out of the back.
Yeah.
It's actually quite cold today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So is this off at the moment?
No, it's on.
It's on. You record everything?
Yeah, just
Okay.
so you.
Yeah.
I'll take what bits out you don't want.
Okay.
So moving up and stopping, I think is it progress hesitancy, normal road position? I can never remember what period I've been. Where's my?
You said you were dyslexic, didn't you? Do you know what that is? Such a common thing. Your memory.
No,
Did you realise that?
I can never remember the PSTs.
Yeah.
In order they want to.
No, but your memory's related to dyslexia.
I know number 3 is turning the road.
I haven't brought
and that's,
anything with me today.
And I know number 9 is crossroads and pedestrian crossings. Yeah, so what happened on the moving up and stopping?
Everything in my car. Moving off and stopping was a disaster because I told him how to move off but forgot to tell him how to stop.
Right.
I'd already sort of flustered myself at the very start by having 2 bags with me because I had everything prepared in one bag that I was going to take. And at the last minute I took the other bag because it had my purse and everything else, and I'd had bad news in the morning. My head was all over the place. So when I went in, I didn't have the paper part of my licence with me. It was in my other bag.
So it was in your car, yeah?
Yeah, but I was thrown by it because I'm thinking, oh, have I got it? Because I am so forgetful. I'm thinking, don't tell me I've forgotten that. So he came with me to the car rather than saying off and prepare and whatever else. And I had all these bits all over the place that I'd prepared different things, probably too much all over the place. And it ended up, because he sat me in my chair, I didn't have access to anything that I keep over here. All my books and everything else. So I didn't show him any diagrams. He'd stopped me on a yellow line and that had thrown me as well to do the moving off and stop. And there's loads of cars about, so it's just nowhere where I would have gone to do.
So he actually
the thing.
He actually asked you to stop.
Oh yeah, he took me to where we were going to go. He directed me to where it was going to be moving off and stopping.
Yeah, was the yellow line all the way down the road then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously he picks his spot, it's not a problem, yeah?
Yeah. But it just, everything had thrown me. It's just, I wouldn't have gone here. There's too many cars and too many cars coming, and it wasn't a quiet road where I'd normally go for it all.
In the same way...
Plus it's all part of a two-hour lesson usually for me because I'm doing lessons.
In the same way, if they ask you to stop on the left, they may well commit a roll and say, don't worry about the driveway, we're not going to be stopped for long, yeah? It's just a matter so they can get things flowing along, yeah? So you got him moving off, but
I hadn't told him how to stop.
And
so he
how did the control bit on the moving off go? The bit that you done?
I thought it was okay.
Did he keep the car slow, or
did he stall it a couple? I can't even remember now. I can't remember. I know I didn't do any core comps with him. I don't think I did anything. Somehow I scored higher on the second part, and I thought I wasn't prepared for the second part because it's full licence holder, and I'm thinking I should be less telling you, and that was all a bit of a blur to me as to how much I correct someone who's not going for their test, because if they cross their arms, it's not going to be...
No, it's a matter of not being picky. He might keep his hand on the gear lever. You just let that go because he's... and
I didn't know how much to let go. And some of his driving was quite similar to my... it used to be before I did some of this.
Yeah, obviously you need to correct any faults that are going to be potentially dangerous.
They just hadn't been that obvious, and I suppose that's where I'm going wrong, thinking it has to be obvious, because at one stage he had pulled over in front of a car that was coming towards us, and I did say to him that he could have waited, that there wasn't a rush, and then he actually confirmed it by saying, yeah, he was going fast, wasn't he? And I don't catch on those.
That was a lifeline.
I don't catch on them.
So he was actually turning
all the lifelines.
He was actually turning right across the path of the vehicle, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually be proactive on that, because obviously you see the situation coming, and quite often to develop for the SE to develop the situation, you may well find that he's actually speeding up a little bit on approach, so he gets there and gets the timing right, because obviously he can't go across front of the car
in a too dangerous.
Yeah, but if he can judge it that he gives it a bit of welly and gets across, then obviously he can. So it's always a good question on the phase 2. If it was phase 1, you'd be telling him what to do anyway. But on the phase 2, it's always a good question when you're approaching a crossing a vehicle situation to ask him, are you going to go in front of the silver car or behind it? Mm-hmm. And he won't lie to you.
Yeah.
And if he is going to go, then you say no.
See, I had hardly any conversation with him, and I was just thinking, what is he doing? And I'm watching him like a hawk, thinking he's looking at the mirrors, he's indicating as he should, he's not coasting. And I'm thinking, well, what is he doing? And I couldn't even think of what to say to him, whereas you're saying something so simple that just didn't come to mind.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'd have just...
Are you actually a member of the Blaine site, or...?
Not yet, no. Well, I'm a member, but not a paying member yet.
Right. Coasting is what we class an amber fault, unless it leads to the car going very fast into the corner. But you normally find that when they actually coast, and they might even do it in a straight line. And they might even give you a lifeline that they're coasting by actually revving the engine. But obviously things like emerging from a junction and not doing the proper observations, in other words, emerging left and looking to the right as you cross over the white line, that would be a red fault. If you don't nail that by the end of the PST, you'd fail, yeah? If you didn't nail the coasting, obviously your mark's going to be low, but you wouldn't normally fail on it. In the same way, if he gets the mirrors in the wrong order, but he is checking the mirrors, or she, whatever the case may be, then again, you wouldn't fail on that. And obviously, if you spot everything and correct everything, then obviously the higher your score, yeah?
Yeah.
But you must actually spot the areas that are dangerous. Anything to do with control and observation is going to be dangerous. So do you want to have a go at the moving up and stopping today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
and it just
but I'm trying to think, surely I can't get that twice.
No, but it's not actually the PST we're worried about. I just want to see...
how I do?
Yeah, what your core comps are like. Don't forget, I'm not examining today. I'm just going to have a quick look, and then I'll come out a roll and help you, yeah?
Okay.
So, What did you talk about on the drive to the area where you were going to do the moving up and stopping?
He told me after that I could have done that.
Yeah,
What did he tell you that you could have done? I suppose I was like a deer stuck in the headlights by the time.
which is very natural. What did he tell you that you could have talked about?
He said that I could have talked him through how I was doing the pull and push, or how I was doing the feet, just all of it, just talking through just the basics of starting off and stopping, which would have been it's just so logical now. But at the time it was... So I didn't talk to him till we got to wherever he drove me to.
If you think about his last lesson, would have been the controls lesson, and he probably will tell you that he maybe got to start the engine.
I didn't even ask him how far he'd got.
Yeah, it's always important to ask, because they could have actually, because if you look at the controls lesson, it does actually include moving up and stopping, and if his instructor had managed to, because it could have been a 2-hour lesson, or in an hour's lesson, the instructor, his last or his normal instructor who would have done the last lesson could well have gotten moving off and stopping. So if you don't ask, you'll never know. So it's very important to say, how far did you get in the last lesson?
Yeah.
And then that gives you a starting point.
Yeah.
Once you're given your brief to say, okay, Bill, or whatever your name is, you started the engine on the last lesson, and then just keep an eye on, when he gets in the car, that he puts the seatbelt on properly and checks that it's locked and it's not twisted, and check, on the way there, or when you get to the area, that when that before he opens the door, Bill, can you tell me what you remember from your lesson last week? Where you have to look before you open the door, and why it's important to close the door afterwards. Because he's only had one lesson before, so you've got to bear that in mind. And then, but the fact that he didn't use the opportunity from the test centre, which is probably going to take you 5 minutes to get to the area, to give a bit of education. Okay, I'm not going to say you're going to fail on it, but
yes, it wasn't very good, was it?
No, it gives you a good chance to start getting the dry mouth working. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what I tend to normally do is actually talk about the mirrors,
right?
Because although you would have set mirrors up last week, you wouldn't have actually used the mirrors. So you just tell them, I'm going to turn left here, Bill. I'm going to check the interior mirror to see the distance and speed of the vehicle behind me. I'm going to check the left-hand door mirror to see if there's any cyclists coming up the inside of me. If there is any cyclists coming up the inside of me, I won't indicate, because I may frighten them, and they may jam their brakes on, and I certainly won't turn, because I may well squash them. Yeah. And just carry on talking them through the mirrors when you're moving out to past parked cars, and while you're checking the interior mirror and the left-hand door mirror before you move back in and after passing the parked car, because the parked car might move away. So by the time you've done about half a dozen of them, you're actually at the road where you're going to use. Yeah. So we'll skip out the first bit, and we'll go straight on down, and I'll take you to an area where you can do the moving up and stopping. Yeah, and we'll have a go at that there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's not the car you use for tuition, is it?
No. That's my car. Don't often get to drive it, so
that's your hairdresser's car.
No. But I have seen people with stickers on the side that.
That's why you use a Corsa.
Yeah.
So you enjoying the job?
I am, and I'm very stressed today because I am working part-time, and there's a possibility I might need to be handing my notice in on Tuesday, although people are saying I should go to the union. Because basically my supervisor has got loads of knives in my bag, although she's as nice as pie to me. She's after my Tuesday job. She doesn't want to wait for me to go. So, you have to cut that bit out.
Hopefully your supervisor might say... You can name your supervisor if you like. Now, I'm going to turn left at the roundabout. So, I'm checking my interior mirror to see if there's any vehicles behind me. There's not. I'm checking my left-hand door mirror to see if there's any vehicles, bicycles coming up the inside of me. if there was, I wouldn't indicate. I just let them go. Yeah, because the consequence of not letting them go is that I might squash him, and the consequence of putting the indicator on is that I might frighten them and they might fall off anyway. Yeah.
Don't you get points for that?
Yeah.
That's what I tell my learners. I said, but they don't make prizes.
So you had a bit of training the other day, I believe, yeah?
No.
You said they've given you a reasonably good trainer recently.
Yeah, that's this week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the one who actually pointed you in the direction of the blame site, yeah?
He was... No. No one's pointing me, I just found that.
How did you find it?
Surfing the web.
It's a good site, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah?
It is very good. Yeah. So I've been on there a few times, and I've actually looked at his video, because before, I won't say what comment I made, but I actually, because he looked so serious in the first picture, it'd been a bit off-putting, but when you actually watch him, he's not so serious at all. He's having a bit of a laugh, and
he's very laid back.
You should never judge a book by its cover, and I don't normally. So
this is the picture that's before the video starts.
Yeah.
Nah,
they're all very similar, and I just thought he likes his picture.
Nah, he's a lovely bloke.
Yes, I agree with you now, and I've only watched one.
Now that's
I've watched loads of yours.
That's actually...
Because I watched the moving off and stopping with the other guy, and I remember he kept telling you about all the mirrors he was checking, but then after you said, you didn't tell me why. And I thought, now that's me. Tell you what I'm doing, but not tell you why.
Oh, was that Barry?
Could have been Barry, young guy.
Yeah, he passed on...
Did he pass?
Yeah, he passed on Friday, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Now that picture of Blaine you see at the start of the video is actually part of the video, but it doesn't actually... It's like when the video starts, then that's when... It's not actually a photograph or anything, it's actually part of the video. So as soon as you press play, then it will actually kick into action.
Yeah.
No, he's lovely, he's got a great sense of humour.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna watch them all now. Find it, because you only found it 2 years ago, did you? Did someone recommend it to you, or is that when it just started up?
Yeah, somebody recommended it to me, yeah, and I've used it ever since. It's absolutely brilliant.
Because I became a member quite a while ago. You might have to cut this bit. And there was another site as well, and then I started to get emails saying. And I don't know which site had gone down, but they were saying that they were spoof emails or emails from, don't know which one.
Yeah, it's a long story. It's just,
I thought it might have been, but it confused me. But I don't know if I'm still accessing both sites or just one.
No, there is only the one site now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The hyphen between the driving and instructor. Yeah, the other site's been taken down now.
Oh, okay.
It was a great big bad time, but it's all over and done with now.
A domestic, as we say.
Yeah. Right. So.
Can I take mine off and get comfy?
Let's just put